Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again for the Designing For podcast number 2. I'm back here. This is Diddy Kong. I got Gooms with me again.
Yep, I'm here.
And we're the only two on the channel, so that's about all you need.
You have to deal with us.
Unfortunately. So this podcast is going up as we're going to have just a little bit of a break in the amount of episodes that are coming out. It's not the family expected things. I got a cold, and our next episode is going to be one of the larger ones.
Yeah, it's a really long one, so it takes a long time to get the footage for and to edit, so...
And we want to make sure that you guys had at least some content out from us in the meantime, as usual.
It's going to be our last episode of this year before Christmas, and then...
Oh, probably, yeah.
Those two.
Don't know why we always save our end-of-the-year episodes that run long. Last year ran long, too, with Bloodborne and the first game recommendation episodes back-to-back.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't... Just kind of a weird coincidence.
It wasn't quite planned, but I just came back from a walk one day and said, I have this really good concept for an episode. And it was a 25-minute script.
We plan... usually one of them. We planned that we would have the recommendation episode for the Christmas because that kind of makes sense, but
right.
Otherwise, it's not.
Nothing's set in stone. So with that said, how you doing, Gooms?
I'm doing good. I was playing some Crash 3 and I almost got it done.
I heard that you beat the whole trilogy, or nearly at least. So, want to go over that just real quick? We'll just make it one of the big themes of our podcast, the Crash and Smash podcast.
Well, the third one, it has its highs and lows, but I kind of appreciate it because it's very experimental, and as a creator myself, I can kind of appreciate that kind of mentality when you're making a game, even if it doesn't always work out.
I adored Crash 3 as a kid. Just top to bottom, by far my favorite in the series, by far my second most played PlayStation 1 game behind Crash Team Racing, Forever May It Rain. and when I replayed it as a teenager, I went, no, this has to be better than, this has to be as good as I remember. It was the real first time that I had been damaged by nostalgia. And it wasn't like I felt bitter about it or anything. It was like, no, Crash, I love you. Don't do this to me.
Yeah. Things like variety aren't as appreciated nowadays back as much as they were in the 90s, but I still kind of appreciate it just because you can tell that they really wanted to pack in as much content as they possibly could into that game.
Oh, absolutely. It's... to the brim with just love and attention to detail. Still, the most expressive game of the era, except maybe Conker, but...
Yeah. Conker kind of cheats because it's just... expressiveness is almost all it has,
Well, yeah.
But, I really appreciate that every level pretty much has something unique about it. Even when it's just a new enemy, that enemy always comes with its own unique death animation, and they don't have even very many types of each archetype of level.
See, that's something that the death animation specifically always endeared me to Crash 3, because I think it endeared me to difficulty in games in general, because Crash 3 isn't that hard of a game, but it's not like baby's first game. It's not collect-a-thon easy, I would say.
Yeah,
that sort of sense.
You can still make it hard if you want to get all the platinum things too.
But when I was me, stupid baby kid playing Crash 3, I felt that dying was its own incentive because I could see the unique animations. There was always this little bit of fun and laughter in even my own failure. So I always felt that was just a cool thing that Crash 3 in specific did. 2 had it to some extent, but I love the extent that 3 went to.
Yeah. I agree there, and it seems like I can't think of too many instances where it's the same one too often.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's clear that the default death animation is the when he turns into the angel,
right?
But that one shows up a lot more in 1 and 2 than it does in 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed my time, and some levels like the plane kind of are pretty much nothing, and the jet ski level doesn't work too well, especially Hot Cocoa, because that's like this very open, confusing map, which worked really well when it's a speed run.
Okay, so I will say, in defense of those, they're much better in the PlayStation originals. And
right.
I will actually say that because the way that worked in the PlayStation original was that, you know, the wave still bobbed up and down, but it was a pseudo movement. You still cut through it like a knife, hot knife through butter, and you still turned wide, but it was like, you know, the Mario Party 3 minigame with the hydro skating?
Yeah.
It's like that as opposed to this, which was more wave race.
Did notice that. It seemed like almost random sometimes whether you would be able to hit things in the same order, because you can't. Yeah, you're not when you start the race, and that would affect how the wave moves up and down for the entire rest of the run.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it a lot more finicky.
Yeah, no, it was much more consistent on the PS1. I mean, not as realistic.
Yeah.
Not built off of years of whatever, but it was better.
In the second jet ski level, that one especially seemed really bad because they had the pirate, and those run on a global timer of cycles.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on when you got to those cannons, if you were like a second before or after, you would just get shot by the cannon and you'd be screwed.
Yep.
Even though you went in exactly the same pattern as you would have every other time.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty dumb.
Now, I remember you saying that you liked the motorcycle levels quite a bit.
Yeah, I those were actually kind of fun, and I might have overrated them a little bit because they do have some aspects about them, but I think they add a lot to the tone of the game.
I agree, but a lot of people are just kind of frustrated with the rigidity of the motorcycle controls and how large the opposing roadsters' hitboxes are and that sort of thing.
I agree that they should have been riding motorcycles as well. That would have been a lot more fair, but
it would look less cool.
Yeah. Outside of the second one, it seemed pretty fair, I thought. Like, I remember there was this one part where there's this parked police car in one of the motorcycle levels, and the way it's positioned kind of makes you think that you're supposed to go to the right of it.
Yeah.
But there's actually a little tiny bit of road on the left, so you can just go along that little strip of road every time, and
it makes frustrating that I know exactly the placement that you're talking about. Also, shout outs to the greatest pun name, Tomb Waiter.
Yes.
Which doubles as it's actually a real fun level, but...
Yeah. And probably kind of impressive at the time, just like raising water like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, eat your heart out, Banjo.
Raising water.
Right. So, just going over this, since you played all three games, what would be your rankings for the games? Just, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3.
It's hard because they're so close to me, and I like each of them for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the first one a lot, just because it's like really... Probably the first one, actually, just because I think that anyone could speedrun that game, whereas the other two, I'm not sure people would take as well to the more complicated movement and It's more...
I agree with you. And the funny thing is, before Insane Trilogy came out, my ratings for the game were 3, 2, 1. And then after Insane, it went to 1, 2, 3. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was a kid, you don't know anything about speedrunning.
Well, that and Crash 1 on the PS1 was not elegant in its execution, to say the very least.
And a lot of the reasons why it was difficult to get into would be completely irrelevant to a speedrunner, so this just kind of cuts out a lot of that baggage that a new player would have to face, while still being just as enjoyable to the people who liked it back in the...
Yeah, absolutely. So, you're all on board the Crash for Smash train?
Oh, yeah, of course. There aren't too many people in Smash that I would really buy, because $25 is a lot for a fighter pass, in my opinion, and $6 is still a lot for each individual one. But Crash, absolutely, I would buy for $6.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see a stage. I want to know if it's just the stupid beach. I want to know if it's the Zeppelin.
It's probably going to be the stupid beach if it is in there, but still.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be the stupid beach, but... I mean, I could dream, and...
Maybe if it would be like Cortex Power if we're lucky.
Oh, God, if there were a Time Twister stage. I mean,
yeah.
There won't be, but oh, God, if there were... And just the portal opens up and the stupid tiger runs across.
Yep.
Speaking of, I want to say, and I want to get this on the record, Polar is better than Purra.
In the Insane Trilogy, it's not even close, yeah.
Purra is way too slow, and Polar has super cute eyes.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about how cute they were, because...
I also am talking about how cute they are, but as a total package as well.
Yeah. The fact that the Chinese levels kind of go up and down makes it less fair, I think. Especially with the dragons going in this weird wavy pattern that's not very predictable.
Yeah, but they look so cool.
They look cool, but it's like you're not actually given the chance to anticipate them.
But they go and then they do the twisty twist. And it looks so cool on the PlayStation.
Also, you're forced to slow down in really awkward places to bounce off of the ramps.
Yeah, I agree on that one. I wish that there were a harder version of those, because they only appear in the first 2 worlds. So
yeah,
and I feel that's really limiting for something that they played with for so long with the Polar and the Boar segments.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have one more, but I think I would have liked it to be show more ahead of time.
I could see that one.
Force you to make more inputs, but make it all shown ahead of time in front of you. Because as it is, you aren't forced to make too many inputs, but they usually come out of nowhere and force you to memorize them.
Yep. Final important question, based on only pre-1998 material, who is best, Wily, Eggman, or Cortex? Well, Robotnik by then, but Wily, Robotnik, or Cortex?
It's definitely Cortex, but
That's what I like
Eggman
to hear.
But I think that Eggman gets better later on if you consider things like Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, Eggman was only a year away from Sonic Adventure 1.
I think Wily is more impressive relative to his time period, because there were almost no real characters on the NES era.
Right, but I mean, by this time we still had the Mega Man cartoon. So including Mega Man cartoon Wily. Does Wily win now?
Not quite.
Ugh. Come on, I will create chaos. I pull the moon out of its orbit. Yeah! Oh, God, Scott McNeil.
If you counted Dr. Wily and Cutman as one group package, then Dr. Wily would win.
Okay, fair enough. Alrighty, so with that little footnote out of the way, might as well get to the meat of this, which is what everyone's probably talking about, Smash Brothers.
Yeah, so we just thought we were going to do like news of each character in Smash and just like a sentence or two. And if you want us to go in more depth about any of these, maybe we'll do an episode on it eventually, but we don't want to step on the toes of things like know your moves or
exactly
things. But we could look at someone later on if you want.
Mm-hmm. I think what's most important to us is that the character is represented well as a character.
Yes, a character represented well as the character personality-wise was originally.
Mm-hmm. Or if failing that they have any personality shown, that they're either emblematic of their games or they create a personality from what they're given.
Yeah, they create a personality that would have been perfect for the character had they had a personality.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, we may go on to...
Really good at that.
Oh, sorry.
I said spoilers, Luigi's really good at that.
Oh, yes he is. But yeah, just let us know in the comments if you ever want us to go into further depth on one of these. This is something that we actually discuss fairly frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, let's go. Mario, your thoughts?
Pretty good. He's balanced. I like that he's animated, and I am not too wild about the flood. I think that's a little bit outdated at this point, but I think he could also use a little bit more related to his jump attacks. But I'm satisfied with how Mario is.
I like Mario. I feel that he's strong in the air, as he should be, and otherwise good fundamentally. I feel like he gets good representation of his full series. If you think of it like from NES through the modern era, at least to Brawl, it would be represented Fireball, Super Mario Brothers, Cape, Super Mario World, so the SNES, the basis of his moveset being from N64, and then Flood for the GameCube. I do feel that...
Yeah, I guess...
I do feel Flood's outdated now, and I feel that Flood was never a fun fit for his toolset. It feels weird for Mario to be super unique in that aspect.
Yeah, it's weird because I almost want Mario to be a little more boring.
Also, I don't like his angry eyebrows in Ultimate. I don't like how he's pissed. Mm-hmm. I know he's supposed to be serious, but he should be, yahoo, let's go, it's a me. He should be like a villager-level psychopath.
One thing I would like is kind of weird triple jump mechanic.
That'd be cute as just an Easter egg at the very least.
It'd be completely pointless because it wouldn't come in very often, but
it'd be cute.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so Donkey Kong.
How can you hate Donkey Kong? I mean...
Look at that grin.
Look at that grin, and he's finally got a few more moves from his games, like his roll and stuff.
My big thing with Donkey Kong is that ever since Smash 64, he has always been, look at me, I am the big character. Look at all of the big, strong moves I can do. Also, sometimes I do the gorilla noise, and I have that one really funny taunt.
Yeah, but he's fast, too. He's what you want to play. He's who you play as if you want to play a big guy, but you don't want to deal with slow moves all the time, and that's kind of a unique archetype.
I appreciate DK more as it looks like he is having fun in these later games. And I really like that about him. That's an attitude that was developed through the Country series. and
Yeah.
it's just great to see him have it. DK's been my main since Smash 64. Probably will not change.
In specifically, but I always have fun using him, and it just always feels good to land moves with him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of DK.
I am too. Do you think the coconut gun would be good, or would it hinder him? Because when I was 10, I was like, why doesn't he have the coconut gun? Where is it?
That would be a bad idea. It would make us about rushing in and just having a party time. You become campier in them.
I agree that it's a bad idea, but 10-year-old me would hate me now, is all I'm saying.
Yes.
Link.
Well, I mean, I don't like Link in his games because he's kind of nothing, even for a silent protagonist.
Right.
I appreciate what they're doing for him in Ultimate, and it feels like for the first time, they're kind of more of the strategy element that's kind of relevant to Zelda.
I feel like they're finally evolving Link from his games, as opposed to just being, no, we keep him at the Ocarina base, and we slightly tweak things from there. But this
outside of some fun stuff you could occasionally do with the bomb, and some accidentally fun stuff you could do with the boomerang, the Gale boomerang.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there wasn't much strategy involved with Link. It was just stay back and throw a bunch of projectiles at them until they get in close, and then slash at them, and then run away again.
Yep.
Now you can, like, there's new arrow mechanics where you can pick them up and throw them, or you can do some cool timer-based things with the bombs and explode them when you want. And that makes him a more cerebral character, which I think I appreciate. I doubt he'll be top tier because he's kind of in that Shulk situation where he's complicated but not for a lot of reward. But I think he'll be usable at a higher level now.
I can agree with that, and I'm glad for it. Samus.
Yeah. Samus looks horrible in Ultimate from everything I've seen. She looks like bottom tier character, and was never really wild about Samus to begin with.
I feel like in order to make Samus a more solid character, you have to strengthen her hit and run game.
She's the problem with Samus is that she's so floaty, and then she's also depends so much on her projectiles, but her projectiles aren't that great.
It feels contrary to her games, where you feel, you get in there and you feel really, really strong by endgame. You have something to handle every situation. Samus feels bad in a majority of situations.
Here you only have two projectiles, really. You have your missiles for peppering them with, and then you have your charge shot for killing them with, which is not as diverse as you'd expect for a series that's about diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm not a fan. I know that she has fans out there, and I thought that she was cool when I first saw her in 64. Had no idea who she was, but
yeah, I think maybe she should be. I don't know how to fix Samus, to be honest. She has a floaty jump, but I think that she's. I mean, that makes sense if you're translating her directly from the games, but when you're playing the games, you don't really think about that floaty jump because it's there so that you are easier and you don't have to worry too much about that.
You know what I think I'd like? I'd like if Samus's projectiles somehow changed her airspeed. If, she got kickback from the charge shot that let her set up
that
things,
would be interesting.
or if the bombs propelled her forward. And then that could combo into something else, use it as a movement tool.
Yeah. I think maybe some kind of better version of screw attack would help as well. One of the most fun things you can do in Metroid is just at endgame kill everything with your screw attack, and obviously that's going to be a little broken for Smash, but They could do better than just one screw attack upward as this really predictable recovery.
Yep. It could at least be like a one-pronged Pikachu quick attack. Where you could
or maybe like give her a hitbox while she's jumping. Mm-hmm. That would be very interesting.
Would be. Dark Samus, first Echo Fighter we got.
Yeah. She looks cool. She's a cooler Samus.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
I wish she had a poison effect.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty easy to implement, especially since they have that on Piranha Plant.
Yeah, and I mean, I just looked, the Jury Spirit, Jury from Street Fighter reduces poison damage, so like that's clearly a thing. And Phazon is like super space cancer, except when it gives you superpowers.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be difficult to implement at all.
Yeah.
Why don't they have that?
I don't know. Look at all these balls we're dropping with the Metroid series.
Even still, if I ever had to pick between the two of them, I'd almost always pick Dark Samus just because I think her design's more neat.
Yeah. She's the cool new toy. I'll play with her. Yabi.
Yeah. Yoshi was my main in Smash 64, but I was a dumb kid back then. So I got good with the character that might not have been the best.
Well, he's been getting okay lately. I mean, like, Wizrobe is doing pretty good work with him.
Yeah. And I still like him, but with each successive game, I think that I use Yoshi less and less. But now I think I might actually pick him up again because I like his new egg mechanics, and he seems more expressive and stuff. But I say that a lot of times and I don't actually do it.
I like Dinosaur Yoshi more than I like back surgery corrected Yoshi.
I agree, but the new alt where he's yarn is adorable and it fits his character style.
Yep, that's true.
So,
I
just for that sake.
For some reason, Yoshi is like always a character that people gravitate toward in Mario Party, but will almost never be selected in Smash.
Because he's weird, because he's sort of like Samus, actually, because he's projectile heavy, but also super heavy and floaty.
Right, but even still, I would say people gravitate towards Samus faster just because the charge shot has some natural joy and natural kinetic energy to it.
That's true, but there's also, there's that crowd of people saying that Super Metroid is the best game ever made. So Samus gets a lot of people gravitating.
Yeah, that's fair. Think Yoshi looks okay. Nothing that he does has ever really excited me.
I say this every game, but I would have liked Egg to be replaced because Yoshi is supposed to be all about keeping his distance and peppering people with eggs, but the egg roll is completely contrary to that.
Yeah, I don't like egg roll either. I wish it had the the turbo tulip effect from Yoshi's Story, where it was just a single bounce. I feel like if it were a charged shot, then it could be used, as an actual tool. And I understand why it wasn't in Melee. That would be a recovery option, and no, Yabi has one recovery option, and that is jump.
Uh-huh.
But at this point, the move sucks.
Would you be thinking it sort of worked like Piranha Plant's special, except it would move Yoshi in the egg?
Yeah, yeah, basically that.
Yeah, I could see that. It would dramatically improve Yoshi's special. I mean, his recovery.
It would.
So you have to consider that at the same time.
It would. If it put him in special fall, maybe. But, I don't know. There are ways to just get a better move than roll in egg.
Yeah.
Kirby, savior of the universe. Canonically the strongest Smash brother.
Kirby has his fireball attack back, and that makes me very happy because I thought his spin was always really dumb.
I agree. I'm happy he has the fire back.
and it's always fun to see all the different Kirby has. And I don't think anyone hates Kirby, because how can you hate the guy?
I honestly think that a great deal of Kirby's appeal comes from his appearances in Smash, and how friendly and how fun he is to use.
There aren't actually a lot of purely friendly characters in Smash. Are kind of serious a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Have this counterbalance of this purely innocent little circle, I think.
Mm-hmm. Good notes. Fox.
Fox, of Star Fox Zero, which is kind of automatically makes him kind of okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have any feelings about that game, so
right.
I don't have any feelings about Fox.
I wish he were chattier in earlier games.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I feel that banter is a huge part of Fox's character. I appreciate the weightiness to him. I know that they're trying to give him like a fighter pilot kind of feel with the intenser gravity, and I appreciate that. I feel that that's gone well into establishing an identity for Fox's playstyle.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish he were Sonic levels of annoying. I do.
I think it's clever how his specials all relate to his R-Wing, but I don't know if there's anything that really makes it stand out and make me want to go, yes, I'll play as Fox today.
I agree.
Immediately, because he was the best character, but now he's not the best character, so.
Mm-hmm. Hear this, Nintendo, make Fox more annoying. Don't take that out of context, please.
I'm trying to think of what draws me to Fox in the original games, and there isn't much, because it's always the rest of his team that kind of carries it for him.
I agree, but I really feel that the strength of Star Fox is cheesy one-liners. I wish Fox were emblematic of that late 80s, early 90s space hero, like Disney afternoon kind of hero.
Yeah, I can see that now, actually. Like, just have him, make him almost like Captain Falcon, like in personality.
Yeah, but probably cocky or somewhere in between Falcon and Sonic, I would say.
Yeah.
Pikachu.
Pikachu, from what I've heard, is the best character in the entire game.
That is what Esam tells me. Esam says that every time, but other people are also saying it, so...
Yeah. It's not just Esam, it's also... Pikachu, it doesn't have that kind of friendliness that I would have expected too much.
No, but I would think that, Okay, I will say that Pikachu taking damage in 64 where its eyes get all watery is heartbreaking. Because it's like, oh my god, I'm a monster! But past that, I've never had feelings of any sort of humanization toward Pikachu. He's always been like, oh look, there's Pikachu with his soulless eyes.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's a combat monster. I get it. So,
I guess I don't hate Pikachu there, but I've never really felt any kind of attachment to him.
If only they could make him chattier and more annoying. Okay. Real talk. Who's better, Ash's Pikachu or Detective Pikachu?
Oh man. Ash's Pikachu is better in episode 1 and nowhere, but everywhere else, Detective Pikachu's better.
Okay, but would you rather have a Detective Pikachu costume, or Pikachu gets a taunt and he gets a ketchup bottle?
I'd rather have a taunt where Pikachu puts on the Sherlock Holmes hat and smokes a pipe.
No, he just puts on the hat and it's Ryan Reynolds saying a one-liner.
Yes.
Ugh. But yeah, it's harder for Pokemon, as a lot of them don't have that same kind of personality built in.
Yeah, I'm forgiving for Pikachu because like he is kind of a mindless monster, even in the games.
Mm-hmm.
But they could do more with him if they really wanted to.
I agree. Luigi.
Low-key one of the best characters in Smash.
Yeah.
Just throw that out there.
Yeah, no arguments there.
Like, even before his personality was established in the Mario games, which I would... Generally, the line I would consider would be at Luigi's Mansion.
I agree.
He was having that kind of, like, nervous, not really know what he's doing there personality. That was already in Smash 64 with, like, his dash attack.
I always thought that as a kid, because Luigi had these little slanted eyes, and I was like, does he think he's better than me? And then I would see him do his stupid little dash attack where he just slaps and his face gets all red, and I'm like, oh, he's Luigi.
But I appreciate that it's not just nervousness. He's actually kind of complex for a Smash character, which is weird to say personality-wise.
Yeah, no, it's, I think the biggest thing is when we're like, oh, what's Luigi's final smash in Brawl? And it was Negative Zone. It's literally Luigi uses all of his negative emotions that he developed because of the Smash series.
How two of his specials like have the potential to be ridiculously powerful through no benefit of his own.
Mm-hmm.
His own strength, just he gets lucky.
I will miss the Luigi Cyclone giving him air time.
Yeah.
Not just from a gameplay perspective, but also from I like the idea that he is just trying so hard to keep himself alive that he's getting up through sheer force of will.
Yeah. The changes actually seem worse in general for Luigi, and it has kind of got me worried. Because one thing that I think too many people demand of characters is that they be one-to-one representations of their games.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I feel like the more the Poltergust has been referenced, the weaker it has allowed Luigi's characterization to be.
Yeah, I kind of almost preferred that Luigi was like Diet Mario.
I agree. I would say Melee Luigi is my favorite Luigi.
Yeah, his throws were similar, but not exactly the same. Brawl Luigi was good too because it introduced the hoo-ha-hee-ha-hoo taunt.
That's true. But, I mean, the scuff shoe taunt is... I wouldn't give that up, so...
That's true. All of his taunts are great, really.
Yeah, no. Luigi's great. Stop trying to fix him.
Yes. He's already perfect.
I love this boy. He's dead. Ness.
Speaking of dead boys...
Oh, right, yeah.
Ness. Ness completely... Speaking of, like, characters that don't reference their games at all, but still feel like the intent of the games, Ness is a perfect example, because if you tried to incorporate, like, PK rockin' or his healing moves or whatever into his moveset, he would not be that kind of off-brand Earthbound humor that I think his character is trying to be. So they kind of had to cheat and say, oh, he took his moves from Paula and whatever. It actually works for Earthbound because it's not set in any particular rubric.
Mm-hmm.
I like Ness and Smash, and I think that like PK Flash being like the worst projectile but also the most unique is kind of interesting.
I actually don't like Ness and Smash.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
I feel like in order to get Earthbound's more off-brand humor, like not what you would expect, that he needs to go a little more outrageous with his things. I wish that PK Flash caused status effects, for instance.
Yeah, I can. I think that I think that his moveset is really and weird. So I think that the root is there, but there isn't a lot of flavor on top of that.
I also wish that he hit slightly less hard, but he also was harder to hit, and not hard to hit, but harder to kill, that he was a more weighty character, as a reference for him being basically the tank through Earthbound.
That, I think.
And I also think that that's just reflective of Earthbound's, it's not what you expect, it's what's within that counts. And I think that, oh, look at this little boy, let's punch him. Oh, he didn't go anywhere. Damn.
Yeah, I think you kind of convinced me. There's definitely things that they could do to improve him, but it's an interesting take, and I'm glad that he's just not one for one going through his magic list and saying, let's make this a special, and this one, and this one.
I'm happy that he's in, and I'm happy he was included in Smash 64. He was a very important inclusion for that game.
Yeah. I think Ness, more than anything, was that first example of a character that any character could be in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
That we're now finally getting with Piranha Plant and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's have that kind of sense that there's infinite possibility.
Yeah.
Even if there isn't.
Remember when we said we were going to do one sentence for each of these?
Yeah, I know, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's my fault too.
Yeah.
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon is also one of the best characters in Smash Brothers, and his moveset perfectly encapsulates the slow start and then quick payoff of the F-Zero series.
Yeah, completely. And the in-your-face, brash comic book nature.
Flashy and every move kills, except for the ones that don't. But
ain't that the truth? Yeah.
He hasn't been changed, but that's because he doesn't need to be.
That's because he gets fans despite that. It's just more people learning, oh, Captain Falcon's so cool.
Yes.
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff was only good in Melee, and that's because she was a lethal joke character instead of a joke character, and that's a very important distinction.
Yep. Wish Sing was better.
Yeah, Sing has always been useless, and I don't know why.
Yeah. That really sucks. I don't like Rest.
I like Rest a little bit. I like Rest as an idea because it lets Jigglypuff have this random kill option that you're not expecting when every other move is super weak. But how it's been implemented in the newer games especially.
Yep, I wish Rest were a healing move, and then, you know what? I wish that Pound were the equivalent of Rest. That if you break a shield with Pound, it gives them the same effect as if you broke Jigglypuff's shield.
That would be interesting.
Yes, I wish Jigglypuff were shield pressure the character, and if she gets a tell on you, then you are screwed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Peach.
Peach is actually really good. She's, but that's good for her personality because she's never directly fighting you. She has a lot of flair to her moves, and there aren't a lot of unapologetically girly characters on the roster, so she fills an important role in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have too many problems with her, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. I do miss the Peach Bomber being an explosion rather than hearts. I know it doesn't fit the character, but that was just the funniest thing. It just...
Her ass.
It felt good.
It's just that when you're in a dress, that's pretty much the only thing that you have that's free to animate. And they also didn't want to make a new heart effect, so they just reused the old explosion, and it was kind of a match made in heaven.
It is kind of perfect. Yeah, I like her, and I like I do like the combat aspects of her, the frying pan and being the Super Mario RPG reference, the baseball bat, the tennis racket, or the golf club, rather.
I like that you can change that now, too.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a neat idea. She always had this random aspect to her, and I'm kind of glad that's getting fixed.
Yeah. Daisy.
Daisy has the best idle animation.
Yep.
Pretty much just Peach again.
Yep. Bowser.
Bowser. Bowser, he's had a rough history in Smash, and like he might be better this time, or he might be worse, because Node in Smash 64, but he was also better. So they're trying to make him more complex, but also not have that one kill move that always worked.
Mm-hmm. Personality-wise, I feel like he grew leaps and bounds in Smash 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt like, before it was, this is giant lizard monster, and now, no, that's Bowser. That is big bully, punch you in the face, steal your lunch money Bowser.
Uh-huh. And I really hate his sprawl render, too.
Yeah.
It's all It reminds me of Dust, which I guess fits the Mushroomy Kingdom, but otherwise I hate it.
Oh yeah, it does work with the aesthetic, doesn't it?
It only works in that one level, though.
Yep. Ices.
Ices. It's hard to say that they represent their game, because there's nothing in that game to represent. I don't like Ice Climber.
It's not a good game?
I guess it's a neat idea to have this almost puppet character, weird hybrid thing. I think what they really need is to get rid of Squall Hammer and have a dedicated button that splits the two of them up. Like, desyncing, but something that anyone can do. That would actually make them very interesting.
Right, just essentially turn Nana into a temporary assist trophy-like.
Well, not an assist trophy-like, I just mean like a button to say, Nana, stay here, while I go off and do other things. And then you can combo where she's currently standing.
Oh, so you mean like, kind of like the Luma shot, or?
Kind of, yeah. But, instead of shooting it out, it'd just be like standing right where she's already at. And she'd have exactly the same moveset instead of just a similar moveset like Luma has.
Right. Yeah,
like that.
I think I would like that. I would like that more than their current, because they've always been defined by their chain grab and have never gotten the chance to be defined by anything else. Like, literally, their plot in Subspace Emissary is, we climb ice! That's why there's an ice level!
That might make them a little more interesting and fit in with the teamwork aspect more than just, here's an AI. Kill the AI first, and now you have to kill Popo.
Agreed. Sheik.
I never play as Sheik. Sheik's just kind of... You never know what to do when you want to kill with her.
Well, now you just do bouncing fish off the ledge, but...
I know. I get the appeal, but she doesn't have any, like, flash to her.
I never liked the gimp feeling in Melee, and that always made me just feel like, Sheik's not really worth it, or Sheik's not really all that fun to use.
One character that wasn't an Echo Fighter that I cut out, Sheik. She's not relevant to anything anymore, and she only exists because of Smash's legacy. I don't know, I think we have better characters that fit that fast, annoying archetype that's kind of stealthy.
Oh, you mean Impa?
No, not Impa, because Impa's even more boring than Sheik.
I liked her as an extension of Zelda, but yeah, separating the characters I feel has done nothing for Sheik's character. I do like her new Final Smash.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I'll give... I will say also that I don't think any new Zelda newcomer is really worth it. because there's no really impressive standout options. I know, yeah, Zelda only has 6 reps, and that's a travesty against nature, but the most important characters are already there.
Except for Tingle.
But he wouldn't be a Zelda character, he would be a Tingle character with his own Ruby symbol.
You're right.
Had a spin-off series.
You're totally right. I was like, no, the Tingle games make him important, but I'm like, shit, that's a Tingle series.
Yes.
I've been played.
Yes.
Zelda.
Zelda is so much better in Smash Ultimate.
She actually has a personality now, I feel.
Little Wave back before it didn't fit her character because she was this emo, brooding, whatever, but now it's like this, so long.
Yeah.
Toodaloo.
Goodbye. Or hi.
She's just kind of like a smart-ass little bitch, but that's fine because she's cute.
Mm-hmm. I really like the changes that they have to, what is it called? Phantom?
Oh, yes, that's excellent. She's finally a zoning character, which she always wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And good zoning character, you need to have some kind of trap, and she finally has that.
Yes, and it just helps with her mage archetype. Same with the new Final Smash. I feel like, Zelda always felt like a mixed bag to me, but now I feel like we really have a fully developed magic character in her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And who knows, maybe Din's Fire will be usable.
Finally has the tools to set up this wall of impenetrableness, which is really representative of her character. Like the ultimate prize that you have to fight through Link and fight through in order to get.
She seems like you have to be smart, you have to be wise to use her. And that's the idea.
So, yeah, Zelda's actually... I'm glad after all of these years they finally added Zelda to Smash Brothers.
Dr. Mario.
I like that he's in there. Don't have anything else to say. I just like the fact that he's in there.
Yeah.
Because he's random funny.
Yeah, it's just a cute reference, and I'm glad they kept the changes. Pichu.
Pichu needs to either be one of the best characters in the game or one of the worst.
Yeah, I agree. I love the fact that he hurts himself despite being so light.
Yes.
I feel that he missed Smash 4, and that's sad, because Pichu with that game's rage mechanics would be hilarious.
There still is rage, it's just lesser.
It's just dampened, I know, but... God, can you imagine intentionally camping? Just... Oh, that'd be the most piece of shit strategy, and I love him.
Watch as Thunder actually becomes a spammable thing in like high-level play as well.
Oh. No, I remember looking up a Pichu guide in Melee, and they said the secret to Pichu is that if you jump when using Thunder, the Thunder can miss him, and then he won't take damage. So learn how to do that.
That's all you need.
And I did, and I beat my friend's Ganondorfs. So Pichu's the best. Moving on, Falco.
Falco needs that same kind of cocky, chatty attitude that Fox needs, and he needs... His down air is good again, so I like that. He needs to be a good air fighter.
I feel like Brawl did a lot to try to expand his personality through his moveset. Just making it different from Fox's and cocky.
And then no one cared about him at all.
Yeah, I actually don't like it that much. I liked him just being Fox but different.
Yeah, I agree with that. You started to notice the parts of him that were different.
I wish they had something similar to what Incineroar's got, where he just kind of pops off after every successful move.
Yeah.
I feel like that would add a lot more than his technique or lack thereof, which just looks kind of weird now.
Rather than have him do poses, just have him say a one-liner after every single move.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty great.
It would be. I do like
Marth,
the reflector kick, though. I'll say that before I leave.
Yeah. Marth.
Marth's boring. I like him.
Yeah. He's technical, but that fits what they're going for. And I hated him as a kid because who's this boring sword dude that I've never heard of? But as I get older, I kind of appreciate that he is boring, but he has to be boring to fit that technical aspect. And Fire Emblem's kind of... I mean, I like the series, but it's the most exciting thing to explain to someone. It's just chess, but even more complicated.
I like the tipper mechanic. I feel that it's actually super reflective of the Fire Emblem series in just staying at the right distance from your enemy.
Yeah, it's about as close as you could get to strategy game into Smash.
Mm-hmm. I don't...
Which is a really hard thing to do, and I don't envy him being put into that situation.
Mm-hmm. But that is an incredibly elegant solution.
Yeah. And then Lucina represents the fact that Fire Emblem Awakening is for babies instead.
Yeah. Don't use strategy. I'm glad she exists.
I guess that was probably intentional because, like, an easy mode to get you ready for Marth, just like Awakening is in the easy mode to get you ready for Fire Emblem as a whole.
I could see that.
But, like, I don't know. She's fine.
She's inoffensive, and
yeah.
She has cute references to Awakening characters in her alts.
Yeah, and she's, like, she took almost no development time, so it's hard to be too mad at her.
Yeah. Young Link.
Well, before Ultimate, he was unequivocally better than Link.
Yep.
I just always appreciated Young Link more than Adult Link because I think that Link as a kid is more of how I envision Link as a character. It's not Link and Young Link, it's Link and Old Link to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Even though the names don't represent that very well.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're a little more Link getting all of his new complicated techie mechanics. But I think I'll probably still play as Young Link more because he looks really good and fun to play as.
I think what endeared me to Young Link was how technical his break the targets was.
Oh, yes.
I feel...
That's the thing that taught me how to wall jump, and it taught me how to be precise with its arrows. And
the boomerangs and its mechanics in actually going through solid objects.
The single best break the targets in Melee, I think.
I would agree with that. He's such a good teaching tool, and I won't separate that from him.
Mm-hmm.
I love how he feels faster, even compared to Toon Link later.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much more of a sudden pop to him, and that sort of inexperience and youthful energy that I feel encapsulates the character.
Mm-hmm. So, Ganondorf. Ganondorf does not represent his games at all, and I don't care, because he represents the personality of the game. And I think that giving him some kind of projectile, like literally everyone and their mother is asking for, I'm worried that it would change, like, his brutal
Ganondorf
kind of
just radiates power and the idea of power, and every time you land a hit with him, it just feels so good. He has a completely useless move in his up tilt, and it feels so good to hit people with it. It's not even as good as Warlock Punch.
No.
But it's a statement.
I do like that he seems usable in Ultimate now, more range on his smash attacks and stuff, which is important. But even if he was bad competitively, I always still kind of liked Ganondorf.
Mm-hmm. I don't want him to have like a glide of any sort. I don't want him to have a projectile of any sort. I love Flame Choke.
Yes, Flame Choke. Perfect.
I love that he does not have a proper get back. His get back is, if I'm going down, you're going down with me. And that is so good.
Yes, it's like perfect for the character, and that's more important when you're designing that for Smash Brothers, I think, than any particular. He needs tennis because he does tennis in the game.
Yeah, I agree. Have you played that Project M mod where they have the wizard Ganondorf?
I have not.
Oh, yeah, his side special is basically a tennis, and it feels really bad.
Huh.
It's just Cape, but worse.
Yeah,
I'm like, I miss Flame Choke a lot.
Yeah.
Mewtwo!
I didn't like him in Melee, but now I'm better, because even as a kid when I was playing with Mewtwo, he never really had that power. Okay? So I appreciate that he's kind of got a little more of that going.
It always annoyed me as a kid that the most powerful Pokemon still used Confusion and Disable.
Yes.
And like, where's Psychic? Where's Amnesia?
But he needed it, or otherwise the most OP character on the roster.
Well, yes, but it just felt bad. I wanted the power, and I feel that Smash 4 has finally given him that.
I don't want him... It's hard to say, like, he's on the tier list. He's high on the tier list, and that's fitting because he's the best Pokemon, but I think in this case, it really is important for him to be those meta-defining characters.
I agree.
Mewtwo's all about the meta in the plot and in competitive Pokemon, and like his entire personality is meta-based. So
Mewtwo is all about his presence. I love his neutral air, where he just flexes and everything explodes around him.
Yes, I like that his up smash now makes a little galaxy above it instead of just the explosion. Roy's probably the single worst designed character from Smash Melee.
Yep.
Because he's the exact opposite of Marth, and that makes sense for Sword, because with a sword you have an inherent reach advantage, and his tipper is the exact opposite of Marth's, which means that spacing is not important. You either get very up close and personal, or you get a less good version of the perfect hit.
The only reason he's good is because of the Roy's Our Boy chant.
Whereas Marth still has advantages to hitting in close as like a get off me tool.
Right. Yeah, I do think that the changes to Ultimate have improved him. I have heard they get his multi-hits that are closer off more often.
He seems like a good character, but I don't know if he's good design, because it just seems inherently broken to have him do his kind of gimmick.
I agree. I feel that it's antithetical to a Fire Emblem Lord, specifically. I feel that...
A Fire Emblem sword, yeah, especially a Fire Emblem sword.
I feel if he were like a general character, then this would make more sense. If he were like Hector, for instance, with the axe, which is naturally short range, his sort of playstyle would make sense.
I would agree with that.
So yeah, I don't have anything against him, but I don't think he fits the series well.
He was in there like... Marth was definitely designed first, and it was, let's take Marth, but make him the opposite. That'll be fun. But they didn't really think about the implications too much, I don't think.
And Chrom is just terrible.
Chrom. he has like the worst recovery in the game, and that's kind of hilarious.
I guess I'll get my chance another day. Oh wait, they never gave me a chance.
I really hope he's at the absolute bottom of the tier list.
I agree.
But if he's not, then he'll be very, very boring.
Which is accurate, because he's a very boring lord. Sorry, he just does nothing for me other than being awakening. But yes, moving on.
Mr. Game & Watch is my personal main. I just love how expressive he is, and I'm like the one person who has nostalgia for the Game & Watch games before Melee came out.
I will defend myself and say I did own Game & Watch Gallery 3.
Okay, fair enough. But, like, the only guy who was like, no, I know who that guy is. That's the guy. That's the guy on those games.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know anything. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
It's like, is it the wolf from Egg?
I really like how out there and creative he has the choice. He's kind of his own character out of more of a style of games than anything. Sort of old cartoony in the way he's depicted. And that's actually been improved substantially in Ultimate, I think, because now he morphs into different characters rather than always being the same from Fire or Parachute.
Yeah, I feel that every game that he's appeared in, Mr. Game & Watch has gotten more and more of a personality. And that personality is just that sort of cartoon everyman, like you said.
Yeah. He's the guy that, like, works 9 to 5 at the plant and then gets beat up by his boss and then comes home to a nagging wife and a screaming baby while he just wants to have a beer and then do it all over again the next day.
No, he's the NPC that has every job in a town, like you know, Cat Dog.
Oh yeah,
he's Rancid Rabbit from Cat Dog. And they just go, "Weren't you just the teacher? License and registration, sir."
I can definitely see that. Okay. Meta Knight.
Meta Knight was such a cool pull for Brawl. Like, it was like, oh my god! Look at that! Look at that!
He was so cool back in the day, but now only defined by Smash Brothers.
I'm gonna main Meta Knight. Oh.
Then you became a horrible person for doing that.
Mm-hmm. It's like, wow, this isn't fun.
He's a good example of how Smash can actually ruin a character, I think.
I agree. Not the number one example, I don't think, but...
No. We'll get to that.
Uh-huh. In like 2 hours, yeah.
But, yeah, he's... I guess he was always kind of overpowered whenever he was playable in the Kirby games. And so that's kind of fitting.
I could agree with that, and I could agree with kind of his very multi-hit, follow you into the air kind of aesthetic. Like, he feels like a true Rushdown character. I appreciate the changes made to Mach Tornado, so now it doesn't feel like an endless vortex. Now it feels like what it was in the Kirby games, a get off me move.
I like that you can't rely on Mach Tornado, because that was important in the Kirby games is that using random different moves all the time. Just flail doing whatever and somehow making it work. And if you have one specific move to rely on, then that's not actually very representative of it.
I agree. I think that he was an experiment that they dumped a lot into, and that it didn't work out, and now they're backpedaling, and it's good that they are, because maybe he will be enjoyable now.
Yeah.
Pit.
I keep telling myself I'm supposed to enjoy Pit, like his lines in Kid Icarus Uprising, but he's just so boring to play as.
I like the character of Pit. I hate playing as Pit.
Yeah.
It's sad when... after the changes, I miss Hayya.
Yeah.
Because that was at least something. It was at least, oh, he's annoying. He's this annoying angel brat that does the Hayya.
He's just so safe and flat, and I don't know.
I wish he had more moves where he was bumbling to reflect his character.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's got that great in his games, but in Smash he just feels like, here's this OC I want to push over because he's my baby.
Mm-hmm. I wish the bow shot arrows faster, a la Uprising. I wish they did not take Brawl Pit as Pit's base. Brawl Pit was necessary in order to evolve Pit, but past that, it's not emblematic of who he is anymore.
He doesn't feel like he comes from a shmup game at all.
Mm-hmm.
In those games, being kind of a bumbler that kept dying and failing over and over again, it made sense because a shmup is really hard and you're kind of a loser that dies a lot.
It's amazing because he's the exact opposite of Smash Fox. Because he's got his personality down. He's got that appeal. But he sucks to play as, and he doesn't represent his game style at all.
Yeah. Yeah, if you combined all of the moves of Fox with all of the personality of Pit, you'd have a pretty damn good character. But
I would like that.
Specifically into that one character, because that'd be weird, but...
Yeah.
You know. Damn, move it.
Yeah, Dark Pit.
Zero Suit Samus is... I mean, she's fine.
She's fine. It's hard for me. I do not like that this character exists in Smash Brothers. I understand that it was a necessity, but the whole point of Zero Mission was for the final chapter that you are super powered down and you are trying to escape. To give her this edge to her, to give her this boost to her, just does not feel good.
Yeah. And she's always consistently better than Samus, which is...
I mean, I can understand that for just fighting game's sake, but...
The last chapter was meant to be kind of a stealthy segment where you only had your blaster to rely on, and even that was only a in case you got caught.
I think what's most telling for me is doing Subspace, and you get Zero Suit Samus first, and then you eventually get the Power Suit. And getting the Power Suit felt like a downgrade.
Yeah. I remember that specifically, too. Even back before I knew all of the ins and outs of the game.
Mm-hmm.
She's like this weird... She doesn't feel like Samus so much as she feels like Joe in the Dark, or...
I can agree. I would like a different character with this moveset.
Yeah.
Because I think she's fun.
She's too perfect for what Zero Suit Samus is.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the considerations of, like, how are we going to make all characters pull on? I don't like her, but I can accept that people do like her.
I can accept that people like the function that she serves.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that outside of physical attraction to this 2D, that people are super invested in ZSS, other than the fact that she is a Metroid rep.
Yeah. I might cut her instead of Sheik, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Only one I forgot about her.
Thought that just occurred to me. How would you feel if Daisy had her moveset? And, like, you repurpose stuff like the blaster is like a Sparky sticker or something.
That would be only if she has her Mario Kart Wii Sport 40 jumpsuit.
Oh, yeah, either the jumpsuit or the, like, tennis shorts or whatever. Not the dress.
Then, yeah, I could definitely see that. That would be really hilarious.
Because I feel that that's a set that fits Daisy much better than either Daisy fitting Peach or Zero Suit Samus fitting her own moveset.
No argument.
Alright, Wario.
Wario, we already did an episode of Wario.
Yeah.
You could watch that if you want to see our opinions on that, but the short of it is he's fun, but he's not the Wario I grew up with.
Yep, he's WarioWare.
Character, and I kind of miss the old one, even if this one's fun.
He's got spontaneity down, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Especially after reading that interview where the director of Shake It went, I wanted to make the most macho Wario I could. It feels real bad to have Wario not have very many good kill moves.
He's just entirely relying on his fart.
His fart and something unreliable, yeah.
All of his normals are basically just biding time until you can get the fart. I don't like it.
Yeah, neither do I. Snake.
But on the other hand, Snake is excellent.
Love Snake. Snake is a huge reason why a bunch of people got into the Metal Gear series, myself included.
He's so unfitting that he fits.
The thing that I loved is when I first got Snake in Brawl, I went straight to Newport City because I was like, I'm going to go to this big stage, and I'm going to lay all of these traps, and I'm going to run the hell away, and Snake is just too slow to run the hell away. He felt so weighty and so human, like a Street Fighter character would, or a traditional fighting game character would.
Yeah.
And he made me play the game his way. He made me play it methodical, timing-based, and planning ahead.
Yeah, because you could only lay down 2 traps and some grenades. Or you can't just be all NG Team Fortress 2 Nest. You have to actually think about what you're doing.
The Nikita was timed well and worked very well, had the right amount of power. The RPG being angled downward is one of the most hilarious double standards of, look at all this power! Why are you doing this?
I like his up smash has this super unique arc to it. He's just a really creative character, and I'm glad they included him. It's like no one else does. In Smash 4, you could kind of make an argument that Villager sort of took over playstyle, but even then
Villager was very much you could hit and run.
Yeah.
Snake was you built your space around it, and Snake controlled that space. As long as you weren't using, dash attack cancel up smash or whatever. Where he just goes, whoop, I'm on the other side of the stage now.
Out of all the characters missing from Smash 4, he definitely hurt the most by far. I would trade 1,000,000 Ice Climbers for Snake any day.
Yeah, welcome back, buddy. It's good to have you.
He doesn't have the same down smash, but that's probably for the best, I think. It lowers the skill floor a little bit.
I agree.
So actually
I agree.
Play it. I don't know.
So, Ike.
I like...
you like Ike?
His neutral special, making the fire, that's a cool touch. I never really played as Ike too much, though, because he never really felt worth it to me, because I know I can beat people with him, but I know it's going to fall out eventually, no matter what game I'm playing.
I was actually very excited for Ike when he announced. I was a big fan of Path of Radiance when it came out. Do I feel Ike is really kind of reflective of his character? Yeah, to an extent. Ragnell is a super heavy sword, weighs him down a bit, and I feel that he works as a powerful swordsman archetype, sort of similar to Ganondorf's sort of style, but more, I guess, less dirty than Ganondorf. Like, if you get hit by Ike, it's like, you got me. You get hit by Ganon, it's like, I'm a loser. I do feel it's more reflective of his Radiant Dawn appearance, where he hits the steroids really hard. But, I do like the ideas of Ike in contrast to other Fire Emblem characters, because the whole point of Ike's arc is that he is just a local low-level mercenary who grows and goes up in the ranks through his own natural strength and cunning, and I feel like spitting in the face of what Marth does with just sheer power is a good reflection of his story.
I'll agree with that, and he kind of fits that gameplay too, because you can just solo all of Path of Radiance with Ike if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So having that kind of power makes sense for his Smash appearance too. And having him have that power without having to really think about it too hard.
So, Pokemon Trainer.
I like him now. I think it seemed like too much before. And now you can just like play as whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And be easy to learn and get into, and like Pokemon.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I appreciate Ivysaur being much more fleshed out than he was previously, because it always felt like to me that Ivysaur got the short end of the stick. It's just like, just give him Olimar's crappy recovery. And then, oh, look, all of his moves hit up.
Yeah, I didn't really get the point of Ivysaur, because up the damage and then Charizard kills, so what's the point of Ivysaur?
Yeah, but now I feel that there's a stronger balance. I feel like singling out Charizard for the one game really helped in developing both Charizard, like, okay, what makes Charizard good? Okay, what makes these other options good in relation to Charizard? I feel like finally we got the thought of 3 unique characters as opposed to 3 character archetypes that were just glossed over.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to have Charizard there, and I'd rather have him as Red's Pokemon than on his own.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I like that strategic with your switches, because the game doesn't have to literally load the character every time you switch out.
Right.
So you can actually use that as a dodge, which is very... most of the strategy in Pokemon is knowing which your Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's a smart change.
Mm-hmm. Diddy Kong.
Worst character in Smash, I think.
Yeah, hate his representation.
Me too. He does not feel like Diddy Kong in the slightest. Because Diddy Kong is this cool 90s kid that's like always trying to be the best, but he's always in DK's shadow. But Rare secretly really wanted him to be the best because they created Diddy Kong and they didn't make Donkey Kong. So he was like their baby that was trying to be better. Anyway, he wasn't going to exist because originally he was going to be Donkey Kong Jr., but he became like this edgy version of anti-Nintendo conformism. And none of that at all is represented in Smash, where he's just an annoying monkey.
I will give him that I think Monkey Flip is okay. I think that's a fun movement option, and I like that he gets literally in your face.
Yeah.
I like that he has a cartwheel.
I don't like that he has ridiculous stage control with his bananas.
I agree.
Because that implies that he is way ahead of the game and way more cerebral than he is, because Diddy Kong just kind of... He's bumbling almost like Luigi, but he's more... And,
he's like Luigi if Luigi had talent.
Yeah. But he still, like, accidentally finds his way into winning situations.
Mm-hmm. I think my favorite bit of characterization of him is DK64, where, basically the manual and everything else spells out that Diddy has gone cocky from all of his success. And then you get to the second boss, which is the giant Dogadon fight. and he squishes the dragonfly, and he laughs at it, and then he cowers and begs in front of the giant dragonfly.
Yeah.
And none of that is reflected in Diddy's Smash Incarnations at all.
Yeah.
The most I could say is his peanut pop gun blowing up in his face, representing inexperience, but...
But that's not actually going to show up after the first 10 minutes that you play as the character.
Yeah,
because
it's a very basic novelty.
Whereas even when you're at the highest level, you still see things that Luigi has, like his weird dash attack or his up special hitting the sweet spot. That's like his best kill move, and it's perfectly representative of his character.
I really think that DK having gorilla growls is fine, and K. Rool having crocodile growls is okay, but I really wish Diddy had that sort of N64 era Grant Kirkhope kind of voice to him.
I agree with that for sure.
He's
or even no voice would be better for Diddy, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the most telling thing was when Diddy was first revealed, Sakurai was like, oh, it's so hard to represent Diddy in motion, but you're going to be so impressed. And to me, it was just the matter of Sakurai and his team cared about capturing Diddy as a monkey more than Diddy as a Kong.
Yeah. I guess this is a good example, but when they were developing Donkey Kong Country, they didn't like what they found of actual chimps and apes because they didn't represent the kind of gameplay that they were going on horses instead, because they would get that speed and that galloping they were going for. I can see some of that. I can see more galloping in Diddy than I can.
Yeah, the actual chimp scrambling.
Yeah, except in Smash where he does feel like a monkey, which is weird to me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Please fix my boy. I like him.
And it's especially bad because you see so much of Diddy Kong in high level.
I know, and I'm glad for him, and I'm glad for the people who like Diddy Kong. Both because of that and because they enjoy his playstyle, but I don't think it fits, and I don't think it'll allow that series to really gel with you.
I agree.
On that note, Lucas
feels like he's trying really, really hard to be Ness, which makes him better than Ness, in my opinion.
I agree. I do wish that PK Freeze were PK Love. Just change nothing about it except that it's a giant heart.
In this case, yeah, it does need to be more accurate. PK Love is so important. But otherwise, yeah.
Otherwise, they got his characterization down really nicely in Subspace. And
he's just a boy that wants his mommy. But he's a good kid.
He's a good kid.
He
would make me want to play Mother 3. If I had it. Damn it. Sonic.
Well, I like the "you're too slow" taunt.
I do too.
I like basically nothing else.
I don't like how limited he feels.
Yeah.
I feel for a character so associated with freedom as Sonic is, the fact that he has so many roll attacks and so many things that are just variants of spinning and corkscrews. Like, I get it, you're homaging Sonic 1. I understand. Sega does it all the time. Stop.
And the fact that he's so reliant on his shield, which should never be reliant on his shield ever, because Sonic doesn't do shields. Things should be like the least thing on a Sonic player's mind, because he needs to be in your face, and he's so defensive, and that's not Sonic. Sonic does offensive. He's better than you because he doesn't need to shield and dodge, and well, he does dodge, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. I wish that he had more attacks that kicked off of an enemy.
Yes.
I wish that some of his grabs were capable of moving an enemy with him. I wish that just so much more of him was based on playing around movement based on the position of the enemy, because that's what he does in his boss fights.
Exactly.
To quote myself, he's all about getting in your face.
I know we were just like complaining about his spin attacks, but I'm not actually fond of his up special much either. It's just a spring.
I agree.
Just the fact that he's spinning, it's the fact that spinning is not what he's about.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the song is rolling around speed of sound and it seems really simple, it's like there's an underlying meta that I don't think Sakurai's completely getting.
Mm-hmm. You know what I think would be fun for Sonic that will never happen, but I think it would be? Wall bounces. And I know that's impossible to do in Smash, but literally just causing himself or the opponent to bounce off the screen like a pinball.
Yeah.
Or hell, Sonic's getting meta, just give him a grab, and he throws them at the screen, and they bounce off it like the screen KO, and then come back.
He definitely has the speed and like the cockiness a little bit with the taunt, but I'm the edgier option that's self-aware.
Yeah.
There's none of that in Smash, which is unfortunate because that's such a huge cornerstone of his character.
Mm-hmm. I hope to see more, but I don't expect it.
Me neither.
King Dedede.
He seems fun now. He doesn't seem good, but he's never good. He just had a broken chain grab. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't any good in his original games either, so...
King Dedede has never been good in anything he has ever done. I love him.
Massive loser.
I do kind of miss Waddle Dee Toss. I understand why it's gone, but I just felt that Dedede spawning other people to do his work for him is so... him.
Yeah. A little better now that he can hail it.
Mm-hmm.
Just go through the infinite ladder of spitting the Gordo at them over and over again.
He's
kind of hilarious.
Probably the best idol character. Just his facial expressions and literally his crouch is a taunt.
Yeah, he has a secret fourth taunt. He's very cocky and he thinks he's better than you, but he's actually one of the worst in the cast. So I kind of don't mind him too much.
I don't mind him. I wish that he had something other than Jet Hammer, though.
Yeah.
I feel it does nothing for anyone.
Jet Hammer is not really that representative of him, and it also is a horrible move in general.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, his up special is perfect.
Yes.
That's exactly what I would want it to be. His inhale's good. Especially with the new mechanics with that.
His inhale is already perfect, thank you.
Yeah. He needs... Yeah, I agree. He needs a new replacement for Jet Hammer. Something more interesting. Because there's, like, almost no reason not to use forward smash instead of Jet Hammer.
What about a counter where he pulls out Bandana Waddle Dee, and Bandana Waddle Dee shoots out spores? Thus deconfirming him as a character.
No, better yet... a move where he pulls out Bandana Waddle Dee and you just play as Bandana Waddle Dee instead of DDD.
Oh god, like, if that were like a transformation substitute where they just tag in and tag out.
I'm not even thinking exactly like a I'm thinking like he goes into the background and then is safe from attacks, but so you just play as Waddle Dee until he dies, and then
you don't have a down special.
Yes.
Bandana Waddle Dee is exactly as useful and as valued as Wario's bike.
Yep.
That'd be fun.
Yes.
Olimar.
I really like the Pikmin games. I kind of meh on his representation in Smash, but it's a very hard game to get right.
Mm-hmm.
Olimar is not really about Olimar. It's in Pikmin. It's about his family that he's trying to get back towards. It's about his hundreds of Pikmin that you're controlling at the time. About exploring the world that's separate from him. That he's only got 3 Pikmin, and naturally you're just going to have so much emphasis on Olimar specifically because you can't really do that kind of thing in Smash.
Mm-hmm.
It's I understand that you can't do that, but I don't know. I haven't really been drawn to him much. He's just kind of a campy dude who sits back and throws Pikmin at you.
Which, I mean, to be fair, is what he is, but...
Yes, but he plays more of an active... He plays an active role in moving his Pikmin around while you're... You never have to issue commands while you're throwing in.
Let me ask you, do you think that Olimar would be improved if he were a Pokemon trainer style character? Where he could just throw more Pikmin on and they would become like Ice Climber AI. And you just controlled a main Pikmin.
And you could like switch between the Pikmin already on the field?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like that much better actually. I don't know how you would kill him, but...
Well, you just kill the main Pikmin, same thing as like the Ice Climber.
Like, how do you balance just switching to a different Pikmin?
Yeah, he can only change on the ground. If you do that.
So you're saying that, like, the way to beat him is to knock a Pikmin into the air,
and that'll be
then
kill the specific Pikmin. Yeah, that'll be the leader Pikmin.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I think something like that.
Mm-hmm. Like the one in charge is the one with the flower, and the rest have leaves.
Yeah, that would be super avant-garde, but Pikmin is already kind of avant-garde.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Well, I don't think it's too different from Pokemon Trainer, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like how Olimar feels.
He has this weird scooch attack that I don't get what the point of that is.
Mm-hmm.
The spin and...
I get that they kind of make it like I'm an everyman. I'm doing weird stuff just to get by, but it doesn't come across quite right.
Olimar's supposed to be really pathetic because it's his Pikmin that do all of the work.
Right.
He's supposed to be tanky because you're supposed to last while the Pikmin do everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be able to do nothing himself much. But that's not really how he is.
Mm-hmm. All right, Lucario.
I think in order to understand how well he's represented, to watch his Pokemon movie, which I still haven't done.
I've seen it.
So what do you think?
It's hard because that movie is all just an arc of trust. It's basically Lucario feels he's been betrayed by an old trainer, and then he has to trust Ash, who reminds him of the old trainer. And it's all about getting over himself, and he's a noble, knight-like guy.
That's pretty much what I figured, but
and
is Aura representative of anything like that?
No, Aura in that movie is like basically the life stream or the force, where it's the thing that connects us all. It's the circle of life. And I just use my life energy to do whatever the hell I need to.
But it's not rage times 2.
No, it's not. I understand the idea of it. I understand that it is Lucario using his life's energy to defend himself in a panic.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that's probably the best way to translate it. But if it were being more literal, Aura would be used for healing.
Yeah.
It'd be used for healing and Aura Sphere.
And like a Zen character where it's like having him not even like fully cognizant of what he's doing, that might be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Going with the flow and letting...
But I also feel that that's to the detriment of Lucario's fighting type, where he should be very dedicated, he should be very focused. And most Lucarios in like the regular anime, for instance, have that sort of battle focus to them.
That's true.
I wish that Lucario had a multi-hit rushdown move. I feel that Force Palm is really weird for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel that it does really anything. It's just a weird move.
Yeah.
I wish that it were something more either like a 1-inch punch where it sends him flying, but it has no range.
Yes. Yes.
Or if it was close combat where it's just the auras, but...
In fact, make every single one of his moves a reference to some famous martial arts practitioner.
That'd be fun. Or at least just make it based off of a martial art.
He's kind of like Tai Chi, I think, ish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's too vague for me.
I agree. He fits in that Pikachu category where I understand where they're coming from and I understand what they're working with, but I don't love it. But less than Pikachu for me. So Rob
is very, very, very floaty.
He is. I've never
Why?
held a Rob. Are the Robs lightweight? Are they light plastic?
They're pretty light plastic, yeah.
Then why is he so heavy? Why is he so heavy in game, but floaty?
They're bottom heavy, but not top heavy. He's so slow and heavy, and
I wish they
floaty.
changed his final smash to be just the ghosts of other Robs shooting lasers with him. Because they seem determined to reference that narrative.
Nothing about him seems even remotely to Rob as the accessory. There should be more NES or Famicom references.
I wish he had the zapper.
Yes. In fact, make his neutral special the zapper instead.
Yeah, just replace the blinky light with the zapper.
That done. Do something with the power pad, maybe.
Well, I understand, specifically doing less with that. Just, I'm just thinking of more official Nintendo stuff.
Well, power pad is official.
Oh, it is official? Alright.
Like, have like a, maybe some kind, instead of the dumb thrusters that are like the most generic robot thing, have like a parachute that magically floats up with the power pad.
Or hell, just have him drop like a stack of dynamite from Gyromite.
Yeah. There's like nothing Gyromite related in the character that represents Gyromite.
Yep.
Or even just make him throw out references from every forgotten NES game.
Or hell, have him just reference like the Game & Watches. Just the physical Game & Watches. Like he just throws Nintendo memorabilia at you.
I do like the gyros. That's pretty much the only thing I'm crazy about.
I do like the gyros as well.
It's like I wanted to like Rob more than I did. He's representative of that kind of classic retro NES style that I like, but I didn't attach to him at all because he's just so floaty and weird.
Yeah.
Awkward.
I agree with you there. As sad as it is, I like him from Mario Kart DS. So
yes, he's more animated there because he like moves his body up and down more.
Hell, his body is the cart.
Yeah, that too.
Oh gosh, if he got his stupid leg upgrade and he just got a wheel that he runs around in, like look, he's referencing Mario Kart DS. I mean, I know that we'd argue that bits and pieces of character references wouldn't do much, but Rob is literally just a reference. So,
yeah.
Just go full novelty with that.
Yeah, in his case, the novelty is the character.
So, Toon Link.
His animations are good, as he is in Wind Waker for some ethereal reason. I wish he was cell shaded, but it's not just that. I think that he doesn't have enough spunk to him. There's not enough that surprises me with exactly what I would expect, minus the cell shading.
I agree, and I wish that they did more to Luigify him. Like, I wish that he had the Deku Leaf, or the Skull Hammer, or anything to do with the Wind Waker other than a taunt.
Yeah,
I understand not doing that for Smash 4, or rather Brawl, the time constraints and whatnot, but if you're gonna bring him back, if you're developing another game from the ground up, you might as well make some changes, because I feel that if a Zelda character isn't going to be emblematic of their theming, they can at least be emblematic of their game.
Yeah, and I think with Young Link here, there's even less standout.
No, it still feels slower and adult Link-like to me with Toon.
Yeah. I just don't see why I wouldn't play as Young Link.
Yeah, I completely agree there. Unless you really like the cartoon bomb explosion effect.
That's good. Much else. Wolf.
I really like Brawl Wolf.
I do, with the caveat that they read so many of his animations.
Oh yeah, he is cobbled together from everyone else, but he has so much personality because of that, if anything.
Yes. He's sort of like Ganondorf in that he was last minute and it shows, but that's fine because...
He doesn't work, but it's fun.
Yeah.
And it shows attitude, and honestly, I think he does personality best out of all the Star Fox characters.
Yeah, he's by far my favorite of the three to play as.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like because of Wolf, Falco's blaster stands out a lot less. Falco is now this weird middle ground between Wolf's power and Fox's speed.
It's fair. I don't know. I'm happy to have Wolf back, and I wish other Star Fox characters would take notes, because every time he hit you, he had this satisfied, ah! And there was an emphasis.
Wolf is brutal, and you can immediately get that kind of...
There's purpose and emotion to all of his moves, and it just felt good to be him.
Yeah, I like Wolf.
I do too. Gold star.
He's... Now the Smash 4 people.
Yep, Murabito.
Villager. Probably, honestly, one of my more liked additions to the Smash 4 roster.
I agree. He felt needed.
He felt needed, and he felt creative.
He did.
He's a character which is kind of different from everyone except for Snake, but even he's more defensive than Snake was, and less about combos and more about camping.
Mm-hmm.
And he's annoying, but you can see that in his face, so it's fine.
He is exactly what I would have wanted from Tom Nook in Brawl.
Yes.
It's the exact kind of, you little shit, in your face kind of, but far away, like holding all the cards and just letting you take a look.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that translated well to Villager. I feel that the community definitely picked up on that well, with all the memes around him.
Yeah.
I think there's a good reason for him being memed. He's just a fun character. And he's a good idea, well implemented.
I'll probably play as Isabelle more often than Villager now, but...
Well, yeah.
I still like that he's there.
I agree. Mega Man! No.
So Mega Man's interesting because he represents his games like almost one for one, even mechanic. He has the jump and shoot, he has the run and shoot, he has the same hold down and press A, and almost like an oxymoron. I think that makes him feel less Mega Man, because even though it fits his exact inputs one-to-one, it doesn't make sense for him as a character in Smash Brothers.
I agree entirely.
Because with Mega Man, you're about like keeping your distance, shooting, taking pot shots when you can. But if you have all these moves that move forward while you're shooting, then suddenly you're getting in close and it's not representative of how Mega Man...
That's right, and there's no real stopping power to Mega Man either. You don't really use the Buster as a defensive weapon. People just come in. There's no threat to you being Mega Man and shooting the Buster. You have to rely on sub-weapons, and you never rely on sub-weapons in a Mega Man game.
Yeah. And he has all of these melee attacks. Like, 2 of his aerials are melee attacks, and his Mega Upper is a melee attack.
Mm-hmm. And I'm fine with him having some melee.
I am too. It feels like the ones that he has are very instrumental to his kit.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I don't like his melee aerials at the very least.
Yeah.
I wish he had something like what Game & Watch has now for his forward aerial.
Yes. Because Game & Watches you can just kind of throw out caring too much as a get-off-me tool. But for Mega Man, they're killed.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work.
Mega Man should be able to control the screen where he needs to with one specific tool at a time, and for that tool to feel good. And it should be up to the player to be able to use that tool.
And I also think that he should be more simple, because in Mega Man, anyone can pick it up and play it. It might take a lot of tries because it's hard, but anyone can beat it.
I want Mega
And
Man
anyone-
to be a guy with a tool for every situation, and it's up to your skill in order to use those tools correctly. Not to go
But I think-
into, like, sub-mechanics of, drop the metal blade so I can do metal blade footstool combos.
Yeah, I think anyone should be able to immediately understand Mega Man.
Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah, that's our rant on Mega Man.
Mm-hmm.
Wii Fit Trainer, there's like no gimmick behind it other than weird hitboxes, which is lame.
Yeah. I wish that deep breathing were a bigger focus.
Absolutely.
I wish that had a tangible effect on her actual moves.
I wish that she were like slower, but had more stage control.
Mm-hmm.
So she could be like more fitting of the yoga instructor. Now she's just some lady that does sports things.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to kind of be better than you, I think.
Yeah,
Like-
to actually be a trainer, to be a teacher.
Like one step ahead of you in knowledge and in ability. But in order to compensate for that, she wouldn't be fast and she wouldn't move around a lot
Right.
because she's trying to find her center as a yoga instructor.
Right.
Something like that might be interesting, but the way she is now is just feels very much like a Smash character and not a very good one.
I agree. I don't know who she's trying to appeal to.
Yeah. Rosalina and Luma. Rosalina.
Rosetta and Chico.
I like Rosalina. She's another one of my favorites. She's technical, but she's kind of a lot of personality and how little effort she has to put into everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a lot of style to her moves. I like her.
I agree. She feels like a less aggressive Mewtwo to me.
Yeah, that's a perfect comparison.
And then with Luma being the one who has to give out the effort and shows that, and it's very cute. And that one being the one having the kill power really works out well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well executed.
She's a perfect example of how I don't think floaty is necessarily bad. We've been complaining about floatiness a lot, but she's one where floatiness definitely has to be part of her character.
Agreed. Unlike the next character.
Yeah, Little Mac. Little Mac is another one of the design characters, because let me explain Punch-Out to you in one simple sentence you can understand. Punch-Out has a game over screen that's literally just telling you not to give up, but yet Little Mac's representation in Smash is you got knocked off the edge, better give up. So that's not Little Mac.
It's not.
You got to keep fighting no matter what. But instead, he's this ultimate glass cannon that as soon as he gets knocked off, that's it.
I can understand what they're going for. If you keep it as a reflection of when Mac gets hit repeatedly, he snowballs into bad health. So the idea of just trying to keep it perfect and keep the reads on and punish, and having your punishes be super, super effective.
I feel that it's too short of a window. Little Mac is only has that chance once, and then you're done.
I agree.
And he also has one of the worst dodges in the game, which is absolute travesty if you ask me, because Punch-Out is all about dodging.
Mm-hmm.
99% of the gameplay is dodging.
You know what? I will forgive his role, and I will give him 2 concessions. One, that his down B can counter grabs. That way, it will necessitate him being in shield more and blocking and giving him the option. And 2, that him doing the new perfect shield will allow his KO meter to fill up drastically as an analog to getting a star.
That he has potential to be much better in Ultimate, though, at least.
Definitely.
I like that he has he doesn't go into special fall from his side B, which is a huge deal because now you actually have 2 parts, which makes you kind of like you're flailing to get back to the stage, which that kind of works.
Yeah, you're at a disadvantage, but you can maybe do it.
Yeah. I think that his recovery being so bad was like it became the only defining aspect of him now. But now he's a little more balanced. Maybe not as in the neutral game, but he has a little bit of a recovery chance.
Right.
Greninja. I probably feel less about this character than anyone else.
I like him solely for the fact that he now has a green skin, and I can tag him with Incineroar's purple skin. I'm going to go out, and I'm going to be Incineroar, and I'm going to find myself a Froggy, and we're going to be big and froggy and go to all the tournaments.
Yep. In all seriousness, though, he's just a ninja frog. He was put in as an advertisement, feels like an advertisement, and he'll age very poorly.
He will. I do feel that there is some potential if you kept giving him some level of cool or some level of, like, either flippantness or cockiness or anything, basically, other than his stoicism.
Yeah, but Ultimate looks like one of the least changed characters from Smash 4.
Agreed.
Doesn't look like he's getting any of that anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Mii Fighters.
I love that Arena was used in the Japanese ad for him.
They're a cool idea. I mean, like, Mii Fighters add another layer of Smash speculation nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the fact that I can play as Lip from panel to panel, even though I'll never get a chance. They're the rest of the cast.
I wish they were better so that people who get me costumed would actually feel better playing as them.
Yeah, that's true.
But other than that, yeah, they are whatever joke you want to say at the moment.
Yeah, they're just a joke character, so I like that you can throw jokes at your friends, and that's what they're good for mostly.
Yeah. Palutena.
She does look better in Ultimate, I'll give her.
She does, thank God she doesn't have all defensive moves again.
4, I was not a fan of. The gimmick with custom moves was dumb because I hate custom moves as a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Needlessly difficult to learn her when I have so many characters to learn as is. I don't want every possible combination of character too. Her tilts were awful and unusable, and I disliked that as soon as I picked her and then I did a forward tilt and nope, now I'm dead. Because I was experimenting with her.
Mm-hmm.
She's surprisingly one note in her usable moves, like her up smash is like her only really good move.
I want to like her. She has good aspects. I like the playfulness and the flirtiness of her in general. I think that's a great contrast from the other female characters.
Yeah, but I didn't like her implementation much.
No, I don't either.
But her specials look better now, and from what I've heard, her tilts are actually usable. They have less lag on. So
I wish that she were flashier. Like, her smash attacks are very flashy, but I don't think that any other bit other than her final smash really represents how grand and how much of a goddess she is.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that.
And they don't have to be any better, they just have to be prettier.
Yeah. Less lazily spinning her staff around.
Mm-hmm.
More power of light and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Pac-Man.
He doesn't feel like Pac-Man, which is already a losing battle when you're not a circle and you're this weird Pac-Man thing.
Well, see, my thing is that they make it work in, like, Pac-Man World, and he feels decent there, but...
Yeah.
No, he's just this weird throw stuff at the fence and see what works.
He's like a zoning character, but not even a very good one. I like his ghosts. I think ghosts are cute.
I think the ghost is a cute idea, but he is just a character made of references.
Yeah.
And I think Namco went out of their way to make as many references as they could. And they did a good job making a lot of references. He feels like a fan-made character.
Oh, yes, absolutely. He's like exactly what I would see for Pac-Man's moveset on Smash boards and whatever. Notebook paper. Here's what Pac-Man would be like in Smash.
Mm-hmm.
It's just missing the Rev Roll from Pac-Man World.
Right. Admittedly, I do like the side special.
Yes. That's actually pretty clever.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fun, that's clever, that's a nice little bit of mobility for him.
But otherwise, one thing I would like is for his bonus fruit to get the shulk treatment and just be able to choose which fruit you want.
Mm-hmm.
Be nice.
I would like that as well, since they actually have different applications and it's not a straight charge.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like gaining more and more points and it gets better and better, and I get that.
But you made them good.
Yeah. He's too clunky, too floaty, too much like a generic Smash character for my taste.
I agree. I wish he had more forward propulsion. Just taking on what is ahead of you. That feels very Pac-Man to me.
Yeah. Robin's a neat idea.
Yeah.
I feel that the fact that even if that gimmick weren't there, Robin would still be not even mid-tier says a lot.
I can agree with that, with the weapon deterioration.
Yeah.
Smash 4 had a lot of ideas for directly implementing gameplay gimmicks that didn't really pan out to flesh out the character.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel the tactician nature of Robin at all. I don't
either.
I don't feel like I'm using my limited resources in order to better myself. I feel like I'm just handicapped.
Yes, exactly. In Ultimate, he seems to get a lot of buffs. He can like angle his Elwind and stuff, so maybe that...
Well, that fixes recovery, but I wish, like, if, for instance, you had the ability to choose between Elf Fire being like PK Fire or Din's Fire, or something like that.
Yeah.
Or if,
I feel like he should have stricter limits, but better effect.
Or like, you have a limited number of tomes, and you have to use them all before they reset, but you can just throw out one Thoron whenever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And you call that shot. I don't know what sub-menuing you would have to do while doing it, but...
Or like... have a special move that is really powerful. Immediately ruins. You can choose to do one Thoron, but that prevents you from using any thunders.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I would honestly just like Nosferatu in general to be replaced with something to manage his inventory in that case.
Yeah, inventory management is pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's reflective of the Fire Emblem series and the character, and just it feels like a hodgepodge again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Shulk.
Shulk is kind of ethereal to me. It's gimmick characters. I still need to play Xenoblade, so I need to know better how that references the game.
It would be difficult, I understand, just his two main gimmicks being, I can make it hurt robots better, and I can see the future.
Yeah.
How do you translate that? We have, like, one robot.
The improved Monado art definitely make a huge difference in all.
Absolutely agreed. I will say that Shulk's personality has allowed him to endure. Like, I am happy that Shulk is here, even if I will never play him.
I will at least give him an attempt this time, when last time with the clunky Monado art system, I don't care, all these colors, but I don't care.
See, I figured it out, I just couldn't adapt in time, but...
Yeah. I didn't play too much Smash 4, so I didn't really care too much to learn.
He just felt like worse Ike to me. Big, showy sword moves with a bit of flair to it, but not a lot of substance.
Just knowing that even at his best, he still wasn't rated that high tier list. Mm-hmm. Like, what's the point of learning him?
Right.
You learn all these ridiculously complex things because people want him to be good. You don't get much benefit out of it.
Mm-hmm. So I just hope that the improvement arts will turn around his gameplay.
I want to see some impressive professional play from him.
I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot to capitalize on there.
I think he'll be really hype at tournaments now. I think he's definitely a more complete character now. And
Bowser Jr.
Yeah, Bowser Jr. Clunky. He's theming with him. He's like has a hitbox only at the top of him. He's kind of a zoner, but his neutral special is the worst move in the game, which is supposed to make him a zoning character. I don't get Bowser Jr.'s trying to be.
I wish that they played more with his defensive options. I wish that him ducking or him doing something would better shield him from harm or otherwise allow him to avoid trouble. If they played up this sort of coward angle, I feel that the character would be a lot stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Both character-wise and just moveset-wise, because right now he's just a bunch of random things going on at once. He's got forward momentum, he's got a big zoning move, but he also has the Mecha Koopa, which does some stuff. It has some air actions. None of them are particularly good. Now at least the Mecha Koopa explodes on shield, so now we know that creates shield pressure, as opposed to the Mecha Koopa just wandering around and trying to go through. So now we know that he's supposed to be faster and supposed to build on himself, and hopefully that gives him some direction.
Bowser Jr.'s kit was extremely laggy beforehand, and even as someone who doesn't even play competitive, I noticed so much lag in him.
Mm-hmm. I do like little things of Bowser Jr., like his tongue and his fork. I like how that interacts with food. I think that's cute. And I like that
that's pretty playful.
It's very childish, and I appreciate that. I wish he were a little more childish. Like, I wish that his cannonball, for instance, has smiley face on it or something.
Yeah. I want him to kind of be like make him like a trapper character almost. Sort of like Villager, but have him like spill marbles on the ground and have you roll around on them.
I'm sorry, just Bowser Jr. pointing and laughing at people eating shit is great.
Yes. More of that would be awesome.
It would be good, and he could, like, spit out micro Goombas that do that or something, if you want to keep with the theming. Yeah. Just to say one last thing on Bowser Jr. I get that the Mecha Koopas kind of have to be there because they're more emblematic of the clown car, but it feels like right now the clown car is far more important than Bowser Jr. is to Bowser Jr.
Especially with all of the Koopalings being as...
Definitely.
Yeah.
So now we can say Duck Hunt.
I kind of like Duck Hunt. I think that he's very, very clear in what he wants. Guy who hangs back and throws things at you and has almost no options when you're in close except for, like, as a follow-up to getting hit by a projectile.
I am so happy that they added sad dog noises when you hit Duck Hunt now, because I never felt... Because there are two ways you could play Duck Hunt. You could play it as, this is a dog, look at this dog, it is such a dog. Or you could play it as, look at this asshole from your childhood who ruined your childhood. Look at this ultimate heel of gaming. And he kind of was neither in Smash 4.
Yeah.
But in Ultimate, now he makes these sad dog noises. Like, oh, I'm playing the good boy. Stop hurting the good boy.
Because he makes you feel like the one in the wrong for hitting him. But secretly behind his laugh, he's doing the Muttley laugh at you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like he's just playing up his pain for the camera and making you feel all bad.
Oh god, he's like the BB Hood of Smash.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I like Duck Hunt. I didn't like too many of the newcomers in Smash 4, but I think he was done pretty well.
I do too. I didn't particularly enjoy playing as him because I felt that getting any kill with him was hard, but I liked him. I liked the idea of him, and I liked the three-person dynamic with the person behind the zapper as well.
Yeah. Secretly playing as Captain N from the Game Master.
Mm-hmm.
That's my headcanon.
It is. Get a full
Ryu.
Get a full team. Duck Hunt, Simon Belmont, Mega Man, and Pit. Squad's all here. Alright, so Ryu.
There's no reason to play as Ryu now that Ken...
I'll disagree with that. I feel that the sudden power of Ryu is stronger than Ken's, and like his Tatsumaki Senpukyan being single hit as opposed to Ken's being multi-hit helps it as a get off me tool as opposed to a combo move.
I mean, I agree that he definitely has a niche, like, as a character, but I just mean, why would you want to play as the stoic warrior guy when you can be a party dude?
Because I can make jokes about being a hobo who does not know what a passport is.
That's true, I forgot about that.
Ryu is at his best when he is an idiot.
Okay, yeah, I like Ryu. He got cool nods to the game.
I like the little things, yeah.
The new touch with him always facing his opponent is amazing.
Absolutely.
I can actually get his inputs in, so I'm not horrible with him.
No, Ryu is good. He's one of the few direct translations of gameplay that I feel worked in Smash 4.
Yeah. I think that reminder to the super casual Smash Brothers that other fighting games exist, and you can use him as a bridge to learning some of them.
Yeah, I feel that Ryu is a great bridge character, and I feel like he is someone who will get someone to play Street Fighter.
And Ken is also that.
Ken is that, but he's cooler and has worse music.
True. But it's still good music.
Oh, it's still really good music. It's just worse than Ryu's.
Yeah. So I'm glad that they're both here, because as soon as they had the idea of Echo Fighters, everyone knew Ken was going to be there, because...
Well, to be fair, everyone knew Shadow was going to be there, too.
True. But Echo Fighters without Ken...
It would feel wrong, and I'm glad he's here.
Yeah.
So, Cloud.
I never specifically got a chance to play as Cloud, because I kind of fell off of Smash 4 by the time Cloud came out.
I played bits and pieces. I will confess that I haven't purchased the final 3 DLC characters, but I have played a bit of each of them.
I haven't bought any of them with Smash 4 by the time they came out. But Cloud's fine. I don't like how he is to the meta, but it makes sense because Cloud is already such a powerful character that's good at everything.
Mm-hmm. I think he works about as well as he can. And
I don't like how Limit makes him campy, but they're fixing that and all.
Yes, I want to clarify that. I appreciate the fixes to Limit there.
Because one thing about Cloud that he always had was that he was rash, stuck his nose in things before he was ready.
Mm-hmm.
And having him sit back and camp and charge Limit, not anything like Cloud.
I agree. But yeah, other than that, I like his tools, and I like what Square Enix has allowed us to have of him.
Yeah. More reasonable hitboxes.
More music, please.
Well, don't push your luck.
Actual spirits, let me care about your series, Square.
Forget you. You won't get any Moogles here. No cactuars anywhere.
No, I want my favorite spirit. I want lightning and designer jeans.
You'll get lightning at best, and you'll like it.
No. 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 Go back to canceling your DLC, Square. You're hurting me.
So Corrin. Corrin is... It would be hard to think of a specific character I would want to play as.
Want to play as less, right? I will say that Corrin has one fun edge, and that is the pin, because that just looks like a fun move.
The pin is fun.
I'm glad that they nerfed it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But that is, a defining move. That's a fun move to use, and that's basically all you can give a blank slate character like Corrin. Because what else are you going to do? Duology?
They did the best that they possibly could with Corrin. It's just, at the root, why would I want to play as Corrin?
Because she's cool. She's got a chainsaw sword, and she's a dragon.
Which is terrible.
She's dragon. She does the dragon move.
I guess.
And then she does the roar of time.
Technically, this version of Smash Bros. Corrin got no development. Neither of the games actually happened yet.
Right. It's literally just trying to pour backstory into a moveset. And effort was given.
She feels like an OC, though, I gotta say.
Yeah. I would have no feelings whatsoever if the character was gone.
Yep.
If you put the pin on someone else, like if you gave Ridley the pin.
Oh man, the pin on Ridley would maze.
Just with his tail?
Yes.
And now Bayonetta.
The best character in Smash Brothers. It's another case like Cloud where, she's powerful in her games, and that's reflected in Smash Brothers.
I feel that she's a similar case to Ryu in that they did a one-to-one translation as best they could, and they did it very faithfully. The issue is that a character action game is much, much, much more intensive and much more flowing than a traditional fighting game.
Yeah. And it's really much more than Smash Brothers, which is all about single big hits.
Yeah, when Street Fighter 2, which is what they based Ryu off of, was released, combos were a glitch. Combos were an accident.
Yeah.
So even the limited combo potential that they have, like Ryu's incredibly spammable down tilt, where he just sticks his foot out forever, that's...
And in Smash, so much emphasis on getting the characters away from it. That limited combo idea of fighting games taken to its logical extreme. But yet, Bayonetta, who's still super combo heavy.
Yeah, but Bayonetta has the issue of also having her combos require her and her opponent to travel, which creates her always having a positioning advantage, which creates, considering that she can just basically combo all the way to the edge of the screen, go back, and then decide, nah, I want some more.
And that's first by the fact that witch time can be used in any situation.
There's just too much flexibility for this character.
I don't think you can fully represent Bayonetta in Smash. It's just not possible. So what would be better is to take some specific aspect of her and focus more on that. And that would make her more enjoyable for everyone.
I could agree with that. I think I would like it more if she could capitalize off of grabs. Like if grabs were bat within. And then she could just link her combos from there, because then she would have to be in a grounded position to start with. It would be positional based and it would be punish based, but not, they hit witch time, now I get 3 free moves of my choice, send them in the direction I want, and then capitalize on it however I want.
Yeah, and forget playing on a stage with a low ceiling, because that's instant win for Bayonetta.
Yep.
Oh
god, poor Yoshi's story. Probably going to be banned on account of Bayonetta exists.
That's a shame, too, because it's a fun stage.
It is. I love Randall.
Anyway, Inkling.
Looks cute.
I think more than any other character, I think this is someone that I would have to play as to really know if I like them or not.
I could agree with that, but slowly through seeing gameplay, it's made me want to play her. And I appreciate that. I think that it's fun, the idea of having a non-damaging projectile that eventually lets you rack up extra damage. I feel that that's a great risk-reward system. I'll have to see what her movement options are, because Splatoon is so good with its movement.
I think she'll be made or broken by depending on how complicated.
Yeah, I agree. Because complexity.
Splatoon is really easy to pick up and play. You don't have to learn too much about it. Mm-hmm. But Smash Brothers iteration has potential to be really complex and tech heavy, and I'm worried there.
From what I can see, I don't think that that's the case. It still seems fairly straightforward from what I can tell. It still feels like this shitty little kid taking pot shots.
Well, that's good then.
I will have to see, but I feel the attitude when I see this character, and that makes me happy.
Like, almost more of what Mega Man should be.
I agree. I agree.
Just be able to make a difference by doing nothing except shooting your gun at them.
Yeah. Ridley makes me sad.
Ridley
makes me really sad, because it's clear that they tried. They really did.
They really tried.
There's so much given, and there's so much done with him. The patterns of his fireballs look great. His claw swipes look accurate. His smash and grab.
I really like that you can hit him when he's shooting the fireball as like a hit the weak spot, because he's a boss fight. Mm-hmm. And I like his perfect sweet spot of his down B and his victory animation, which is just him mugging for the camera. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know if this kind of character can really work.
I would prefer him as like a playable boss, as just a novelty mode.
Yeah.
Or
it's difficult. You can't really get the feeling of Ridley. He's not big enough. He's not meant to. Can't have that stage presence that comes from being a giant boss character.
And I'll have to play him. I'll have to see. I know people's impressions of him aren't great, but he could be fun. He could be Ganondorf-like. Like
he could.
Twilight Princess Ganondorf, where he's just fun and disrespectful. And if he...
I don't think he's Ridley, no matter what they do, but he could be fun despite that. And so that's the best they could do.
If he gets the spirit of Ridley, just being needlessly cruel, then that'll be good for me. But from what I see, he feels like Smash 4 design philosophy to me.
He's not going to be one of my most played characters.
Mm-hmm. But I'm really happy for everyone who wanted him.
Yeah, me too.
Simon Belmondo.
He looks cool.
Thank God he's in his Conan design and not his red-haired design.
The red-haired design is so froofy.
It's so like Iori Yagami from King of Fighters.
Yes. I like this chiseled man face. Just Conan gonna whip some evil demon spawn.
Mm-hmm. He looks like another direct translation kind of character, but in using Richter's moveset, I feel that will work better, because the more modern Castlevanias are already similar to Smash Brothers in layout.
Yeah, and I think a more direct translation can work, because all you need to do is make the projectiles the focus, and you can feel like the games in that case.
Mm-hmm. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on him. And also just really happy to what he brings to the series. The music, the atmosphere.
Yeah, the fact that all of the bosses in Castlevania are on his stage.
Oh, do you think that at the end of his classic mode it's going to be a Castlevania boss rush?
Yeah, he's probably going to fight Dracula.
Oh, I'm so ready for that!
Yes.
If his first opponent is like bat-based and then his second opponent is Snake, so it's like the bosses from the first game, I'd be...
Yeah, and so what that has me hoping for is that the English translation of it will be Smashylvania.
Oh, please.
It'd make me so happy.
Mm-hmm. So yes, I'm super excited for Simon, but I will never play him because Richter exists.
Exactly. Richter's the better version of Simon.
Everyone knows it. Everyone can see it from like a mile away. Everyone is so on board with this boy. I am on board with him.
And just the fact that Rondo of Blood is the best classic Castlevania game.
Yep.
By a lot.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, of the classic Vanias, I would say that the essential ones are Castlevania 1 and Rondo of Blood. And that's it.
Yes. Super Castlevania 4, it's not actually that good.
It's antiquated, but I could see people enjoying it. I can see why you would enjoy it, but I wouldn't recommend it to you.
It's easy mode. It gives you lots of freedom. That freedom is antithetical to what makes Castlevania good.
Yep, which is rigidity, which is what is represented here in Smash Brothers.
Yes. But like Richter is the Joseph Joestar compared to Simon, who's more of the almost the Jonathan, that more serious and friendly.
More serious,
He's
straight-laced. Yeah. But no, super excited for the Belmonts and everything that the Castlevania series brings to this franchise. And they seem to show enough personality and reflect enough of their games that I feel that people will go and see. Well, people are already pursuing Castlevania games because of their inclusion. Really happy to have them here. But
I don't know if this means we'll get a new Castlevania game, which I have hope now.
I have hope, but it's related to Konami, so not that much hope.
Right. But at least we'll be able to kind of play a new Castlevania game with the...
Yes.
Like Dracula with Mega Man now.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, hey, Bloodstained is coming, so...
Yeah, true.
All's good. But you know what else is good? Character number 67.
Yes. King K. Rool.
King K. Rool. Look, I turned him into a stand.
Let's just appreciate for a moment how, unlike he's a heavyweight that actually looks good.
He looks so good. I am still so happy that this character is in. I feel that he represents the Donkey Kong Country trilogy so strongly, and he has all the treatment that both Diddy and DK never really got. He's
so cartoony and expressive, and he has actual zoning tools, so it makes sense as a heavyweight.
Yes, he has references to his boss fights, but they make sense in the context of his moveset, which is focused around his super armor, which is focused around him being this giant bully.
Yes.
Just everything builds in on itself, and just the little details that come out, like that his down B reflects projectiles, or that, you know, he could suck his cannonball back in like a DKC2, only this time it means something. Instead,
I think in order to be a good heavyweight character, you either need to have a projectile, or you need to have some kind of answer to projectiles. Zangief's lariat.
I could agree with that. Some sort of movement option.
Yeah, and then King K. Rool has both.
I love what he brings to the table because it is exactly what you would want from all of the references from his various appearances without being too much.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, he has his blunderbuss, which shoots ice, and the slow, and the reverse control. And they could have put that in there. That could have been...
Yeah, that would have been too complicated.
It could have been an easy charge for him, but no, they stick it to just the cannonball. It's just that.
But instead, they make it better because it's the super cool, slow combo move that you can launch people out of, and then, like, combo it with the crown and then hit them into the slow-moving cannonball that you launched up at an angle from your drop kick.
Yes, and just everything about him looks like he is so happy to be inflicting pain on other people. That it's just... It feels like he was meant to be in this game. And it feels like he fits perfectly in the style of this game.
I'll definitely agree with that. probably one of my most anticipated newcomers, him and Rick, for them.
Oh, absolutely. I'll just say K. Rool outright my most anticipated.
And now we all have Isabelle.
I am so happy that she is as cute as she is, because she's really cute.
She's really cute.
I really appreciate that they just doubled down on the cuteness. It was just like, okay, everything is like just a little mannerism for her, like her holding her skirt, or her being scared of the little noisemaker that she's about to pop.
Yes. And I like that she's kind of the more offensive take on more about grabbing and manipulating rather than hiding behind her tree.
Yeah, I appreciate that as well.
Interesting take on the idea.
But yeah, everything about her personality is just fun, and that puts a different spin on Villager. And just even from, as we said earlier, just Villager being, hey, I'm a campy little shit, hiding behind all my stuff. And Isabelle is, like, just bursting onto the scene with all these things. Is it that big of a difference in gameplay style? No, but where she's going and what she's going to handle are going to be totally different.
She's the person that comes into the chat room and says, "Stop fighting, everybody." Stops fighting because it's Isabelle.
This is Isabelle, and then she posts a picture of, like, a baby seal, and everyone's like, "Aww."
Yes.
It's a feel-good character. I know people are upset this character taking a roster slot, but when enough personality is put into a character like this, when enough is done, I feel that that's more than any returning character could do.
Yeah. And she's different from every other newcomer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, almost there.
Yep, 2 more.
Alright, Incineroar. I am legally obligated to main this character. It is a grappler. It is a wrestler. I actually like using the Pokemon. It has a Big the Cat skin.
Big the Cat, yeah.
And in its victory animation, it holds a title belt. And even better, it's probably going to be bad.
Except in teams.
Exactly. I could be a low-tier hero if I main Incineroar.
I like to think that he's meant to play the heel because no one wanted a Pokemon character to Smash. And then here he is just being like, yeah, I'm here anyway. Deal with it, nerds.
Ugh. He has so much personality. He looks like a ton of fun. A lot of attention to detail in just his various grabs and swings and the various moves. I will say I'm disappointed he doesn't have a leg drop. If he had a leg drop, it would be like, yeah, okay, you're in.
But then he taunts after every single...
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yes, he does. He's so good. But he's going to suck because he looks so slow. He looks like he will never be able to catch another character.
With him much when he was revealed because I thought, yeah, he's just another Pokemon, and it happened at the tail end of the Grinch League, so everyone thought that was going to happen.
Uh-huh.
But I'm warming up to him a lot as I see more gameplay and see how much personality he has. Actually, be my favorite Pokemon, for sure.
He is my favorite Pokemon looking in, which, I mean,
yeah.
Who did he have to beat? Pichu?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say Mewtwo is good.
Yeah. I'll say Charizard's good.
I like Jigglypuff sometimes.
I like Jigglypuff when she's good.
I like Jigglypuff when she has a green bandana. But yeah, Incineroar's going to be good. Make sure to donate money to me so I can get a Lucha Libre mask that looks like a purple Incineroar.
Yeah.
And I will wear it to tournaments. And I'll go to tournaments.
Piranha Plant.
Piranha Plant. I wish this was at the start of the Direct.
Yes. I think the good way to shut up everyone like saying that this needs to be in Smash, and if you don't put it in Smash, you're a horrible person, which is anti-artistic mindset, which I don't like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think I'll play as him? Yeah, I think he looks fun. I think his Patooey ball looks a little slow to see.
I like that he has a Paper Mario reference in his color changing. It's cute, and I just feel that, they're doing this character for fun. It looks fun. I hope that he doesn't have the same attribute of Bowser Jr., where the pipe doesn't take damage.
I think that his side special where he goes into the pipe is really, really unique.
It looks fun. I could say that Pac-Man's is similar, but this looks like a better version of it in both how good it is and in fun. So,
just it's a little different because in Piranha Plant's case, you can just like bite them from while you're on stage and just reach at them far down below and then from anywhere.
No, it feels like a sniper character, and that's really fun to have.
Yeah, we don't have anything like that.
Which is weird, because that's how, like, Yoshi would handle in his actual games.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm happy for him.
He's a good little plant boy.
He is. If I get the game, I'll be glad to pick him up. Would I spend $6 on him? Maybe, if he came with a stage.
Yeah. Be getting it for Christmas, so I'm glad that I'll get him for...
Yeah.
There aren't too many other characters I would buy for DLC.
Well, since we're at the end of the list, who would you buy for DLC?
Oh, I would buy Crash. I would buy subject of our next video. A lot of the common names that get thrown out, I wouldn't buy.
I would buy Banjo.
I would buy but like characters like Rex and Pyra, I would definitely not buy.
I would need a set for them, yeah.
I would not buy Bandana. Waddle Dee would need...
If Bandana Waddle Dee were a 1-to-1 of his Star Allies moveset, I wouldn't buy him. If he was original and based on Kirby enemies as well as his spear, I would.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Give me his Super Smash Flash moveset. I'll buy that.
Might buy Rayman, Gold Kid, and Impa. I wouldn't really buy.
I'd buy Tingle.
I'd buy Tingle. Who would you buy?
Who'd I buy? I would buy Eggman.
Yeah.
I would definitely buy Eggman. Just by default. I would buy Waluigi just because that's funny.
Yes.
Just like, okay, fine, pay extra. Okay. I would buy a 6-pack of Echo Fighters for $1 each.
I would buy a 3-pack of Echo Fighters for $2 each.
That's also fair. I would do that. I would buy 2 Echo Fighters for $3 each if one of them were Funky Kong.
Yes. Any 2-pack of Echo Fighters for $6 if I liked both of them.
Yes.
If it's a pack of 3 Echo Fighters that's $2 each and they're all decent, I would probably buy it. I'm more looking forward to seeing what the Echo Fighter deals.
I am
because
too.
that'll eventually.
I am too, and I hope that comes out strong.
And with that looks like our podcast.
Yep, thank you for sitting with us the whole time. Hopefully I'll leave, timestamps for each character in the description or something.
Yeah.
Use that a little. But thank you for joining us for all this time. Be sure to leave in the comments what characters you like in Smash, what characters you don't. If you like Crash Bandicoot 3 or whatever, or don't. If you'd like to see us cover a character in any more depth, or do a specific breakdown. And, yeah. Basically just have a good day, guys, and thank you for sticking with us.
Have a good day. See you later. And
that's how you decide for podcasting. 2.
Bye.
Bye.